In this video, you will understand how a profitable trader thinks, and you don't. You wake up, open your charts, and tell yourself the same thing you've told yourself 100 times before. Today, I'm going to trade better. But a few hours later, you're doing the same things. Entering too early, closing too late, moving stops, chasing trades, breaking rules you promised you'd follow. And at the end of the day, you're not just frustrated because of the loss. You're frustrated because deep down, you know it's you, not the market, not the strategy, you. And that's the part nobody really explains, because trading is not just a technical game, it's a thinking game. And the way you think right now is the exact reason you're not profitable yet. This video is going to show you the uncomfortable truth, the difference between how you think and how a profitable trader thinks. Because once you see it clearly, you won't be able to unsee it, and that's when everything starts to change. Let's start with the biggest difference. Profitable traders think in series. Every time you enter a trade, you treat it like it matters too much. Like this one trade has to work. Like this one trade will prove whether you're improving or failing. So you watch every tick, every candle, every small move feels like it means something. And because of that, your emotions go up and down constantly. But a profitable trader doesn't see one trade. They see the next 50, or the next 100. They understand that one trade is meaningless on its own. Completely meaningless. It's just a data point. That's it. So when they lose, it doesn't shake them. When they win, it doesn't excite them too much. Because they're not focused on the outcome of one trade. They're focused on the outcome of many. That's what gives them emotional stability. Now think about your last 5 trades. Be honest. Did each one affect your confidence? Did a loss make you hesitate? Did a win make you overconfident? That's because you're zoomed in too much. And until you zoom out, you'll stay stuck in that emotional cycle. Next difference. You need to be right. Profitable traders need to be disciplined. You want your analysis to be correct. You want to call the move. You want to say, I knew it was going there. And that desire is dangerous, because it ties your identity to being right. So when the market goes against you, you don't just lose money. You feel wrong. And when you feel wrong, you resist. You hold the trade longer than you should. You move your stop. You justify the position, because closing the trade means admitting you were wrong. A profitable trader doesn't care about being right at all. They care about following rules. They can be wrong 6 out of 10 times and still make money. So being wrong is expected. It's built into the system. That's why they cut losses quickly. No hesitation. No emotional attachment. Because for them, a loss is not a personal failure. It's just the cost of doing business. You, on the other hand, are trying to avoid losses. They are trying to manage them. And that difference is everything. Another shift. Profitable traders accept uncertainty. You want to feel sure before entering a trade. You look for confluence, more indicators, more confirmation, more reasons. Because you think that if everything lines up perfectly, the trade will work. But the market doesn't work like that. There is no perfect setup. There is no guaranteed trade. And the more you wait for certainty, the more you hesitate. The more you miss opportunities. Or worse, you enter too late because now it feels safe. A profitable trader understands something simple. Uncertainty is part of the game. They don't try to eliminate it. They operate within it. They take trades knowing they might lose, and they're okay with that, because they've already defined their risk. That's what gives them confidence, not certainty. Clarity on risk. That's the difference. Profitable traders execute. When the market moves fast, what do? You feel pressure. You feel like you're missing out. So you jump in. No plan, no structure, just emotion. And sometimes it works, which makes it even worse. Because now, you think that behavior is okay. But over time, it destroys you. A profitable trader doesn't react to the market. They execute a plan. Every trade they take was already defined before it happened. Entry, stop, target, risk, everything. So when the moment comes, there's no thinking, just action. And that's what creates consistency. Because consistency doesn't come from being right. It comes from doing the same thing over and over again. Another uncomfortable truth. You change too much. Profitable traders repeat more. You try a strategy, it loses a few times, you doubt it, you switch, you try something else, then something else, and something else. You're always searching, always tweaking, always adjusting, but never staying consistent long enough to see real results. A profitable trader does the opposite. They find something that has an edge, and they stick to it. Through wins, through losses, through drawdowns. Because they understand that consistency over time is what produces results, not constant change. And this is where most traders fail. Not because they don't have a good strategy, but because they don't give it time to work. Profitable traders focus on risk. You spend hours looking for the perfect entry, the cleanest setup, the best timing, but you barely think about position size, or risk per trade, or drawdown. And that's why even when you win, you don't grow, or when you lose too much. A profitable trader knows that entries are only part of the equation. Risk is everything. They control how much they lose. That's their priority. Because if you control losses, profits take care of themselves over time. But if you ignore risk, no strategy will save you. Now let's talk about patience. You want action. Profitable traders wait. You open your charts and feel like you need to do something. Take a trade, be involved, feel productive. But trading is not about activity. It's about precision. A profitable trader can sit for hours and do nothing, because they understand that most of the time there is no trade, and forcing trades is one of the fastest ways to lose money. So they wait and wait and wait until their setup appears, and then they act. One clean execution. That's it. No overtrading, no forcing, just discipline. Another key difference: you avoid discomfort. Profitable traders embrace it. Cutting a loss feels bad. Taking a trade after a loss feels uncomfortable. Following rules when emotions are high feels hard. So, you avoid it. You look for easier paths. You break rules to feel better in the moment. But that's exactly what keeps you stuck. A profitable trader does what's uncomfortable. They take the loss. They follow the plan. They execute even when it doesn't feel good. Because they know that short-term discomfort leads to long-term results. And avoiding discomfort leads to long-term failure. Now here's the shift that changes everything. You think trading is about making money. Profitable traders think trading is about managing behavior. Money is just the result. The real game is internal. Can you follow your plan? Can you control your emotions? Can you stay consistent? That's what determines your results. Not the market, not the setup. You. And until you focus on that, nothing will change. So what do you do with all this? You start small. You stop trying to be perfect, and you start thinking differently. You stop focusing on one trade and start thinking in series. You stop trying to be right and start focusing on discipline. You stop chasing certainty and start accepting risk. You stop reacting and start executing. Because the truth is simple. The market is not the problem. Your thinking is. And once that changes, everything else follows. Because a profitable trader is not someone who found a secret strategy. It's someone who learned how to think differently under pressure. And that's something you can build. Trade by trade. Decision by decision. Until one day, you don't recognize the way you used to think. And that's when you realize you've finally become the trader you were trying to be all along. If you want more videos about trading psychology, subscribe to the channel.